Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the new Kaya that came out with Murders at Karlov Manor, Kaya Spirit's Justice. So, let's get into it. New Kaya has some pretty high highs and some pretty low lows. Before I get into those, I want to give a big thank you to Webcore for sending me this Planeswalker so that I could make this review for you all. Kaya Spirit's Justice is black and white. She's got the highest base health total in the game at 140. Her mana bonuses, sitting at +4, +4, +2, and 2 -1s, are pretty solid. They aren't, in my opinion, the best for a dual color walker. I like the 5/5 spread, but it's at least manageable, right? Like that's still a good enough mana gain to make Kaya a decent planeswalker. Her 3 abilities, the first one, Incorporeal Investigation, is going to cost 13 loyalty. You're going to surveil 2, exile the card with the greatest mana cost from your graveyard, and then gain mana equal to half of that card's mana value, rounded down. Then you're going to gain Y loyalty, equal to the number of cards in your exile. So you're going to take 2 of the top 4 cards from your library, or up to 2, and you're going to put them into your graveyard. Then you're going to exile the card with the greatest mana cost. Then you're going to gain half of that card's mana cost as mana. And then you're going to gain loyalty equal to the number of cards in your exile. So the first ability does quite a lot of things, and it actually has a lot of utility. It's a very useful ability. The second ability, Ethereal Witness, is going to cost 16 loyalty. You gain 24 life. Each opposing creature gains Suspect. That means that they're going to gain Can't Block and Menace. And then you're going to create 5 white and black spirit tokens. Then spirit creatures you control gain prevent damage until the beginning of your next turn. This ability really doesn't have a lot of use right now with the current standard. There aren't very many situations in which the 24 life is going to be better than using the first or the third ability, and then creating effectively a 5/5 flying spirit token that has prevent damage. The tokens don't have Defender, Vigilance, anything like that on them on their own, so the prevent damage doesn't do a whole lot for them. I suppose if you have another spirit on the battlefield that's not the token, or you found a way to give it Vigilance, Reach, Defender, what have you, then that could give it some more utility. But at 16 loyalty, you will probably never activate this ability. The third ability, Ghostly Punishment, is going to cost you 22 loyalty. You're going to reinforce your spirit creatures X times. X is 3 plus the number of opposing creatures with Suspect. So it's just going to be 3, basically. Then you're going to exile each opposing creature. Then you're going to create black and white spirit tokens equal to the greatest power among creatures exiled this way. So really the best way of looking at this is you're going to use that third ability, you're going to wipe your opponent's whole board of creatures, and then you are going to get little 1/1 creature tokens equal to the highest power creature that your opponent has. So I mentioned a little bit earlier that she's got some really high highs, she's got some really low lows. The really high highs are that her first and third ability work together very well. They are both very useful abilities, and if you have the right cards for them, you're able to activate them pretty much at will, and that is going to get you a whole bunch of mana to your hand, and it's going to give you a permanent option to get rid of your opponent's battlefield. So both of those serve as really high highs. The low lows are that Kaya very much needs specific cards in order to function. She is not able to be a good planeswalker just with her own kit. The loyalty cost for her abilities is far too high, especially the first one. The second ability, we can pretend doesn't exist. The ability is awful. So she's really a first and third ability planeswalker. I feel like most planeswalkers, you're not activating all 3 abilities anyways, so having a dead weight ability isn't as big of a deal. The other sort of low that I have with Kaya personally is that none of her abilities have real bite to them. The only way they're going to have bite is if your opponent has bite. So by that I mean, in my playtesting with Kaya, I wound up going up against a Tainted Adversary deck where my opponent dropped a massive zombie token stack on me one turn. And then I was able to Ghostly Punishment into having all those zombie tokens basically turn into spirit tokens on my side. So that was pretty powerful. There was another game that I played where my opponent had an Atraxa Galta loop, and then I was able to Ghostly Punishment that and turn that huge Galta stack into spirit tokens as well. So there are instances in which you can get bite out of Kaya's abilities, but in most games, it's really just affording you a little bit more ease of use with your hand and a little bit of control with her third ability. Now, with the way that her abilities work, there are some cards that you want to look out for if you're going to get Kaya Spirit's Justice that are going to pair incredibly well with her abilities. Those cards are going to be things like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Because of the way that Surveil works, you can Surveil and activate the Planeswalker ability before you activate Teferi's +2 to draw a card. And so as a result of that, you can kind of control which card you're going to draw and give mana to with Teferi's first ability. And so that winds up being some really cool synergy that you can have with a card that you'll probably throw into pretty much any deck that you would use with new Kaya anyways. Other than that, the other cards that really stand out are going to be all the things that either A, generate loyalty, or B, are spirit creatures, or C, do both. So in order for Kaya to really, really work, you're going to want to have some combination or basically all of Golden Wish, which is going to convert 20 gems to loyalty, Trouble in Pairs, which is a new masterpiece that makes it so that when your opponent activates a loyalty ability or Vanguard ability, you gain 15 loyalty, or something like Faithbond Judge, which can get thrown in the graveyard by Kaya's first ability and is a spirit for the sake of reinforcing for the third ability and give you a ton of loyalty, or something like No Witnesses, which is a new removal card that will destroy the world and then also give you 10 loyalty. So this deck right here that you're seeing on the screen is an amazing deck. I had so much fun testing Kaya and then ultimately getting to this deck because I was testing Kaya for a few hours and all of my testing, it was just the decks didn't feel like they were any better with Kaya than they would be with another Planeswalker. For that matter, all of the decks felt like they would be better with a different Planeswalker than with new Kaya until I encountered this deck right here. I say encountered, but it's just my whole process is a lot of tweaking until I get things to where I want them to be. And this deck is incredible. If you do wind up picking up new Kaya, you should do so because you have all the cards in this deck. I'm not kidding. And if you do have all the cards in this deck and you decide that you want to build Kaya, then go ahead, have some fun. So the way that this deck is going to work is we've got Golden Wish to get a whole bunch of loyalty and fetch artifacts and vanguards. Those artifacts and vanguards in the deck are going to be Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and Mox Pearl. Teferi is going to get us more card draw. It's going to pair with the first ability. It's going to give us removal with the minus. And then the Pearl is going to give us mana to pretty much all the cards in the deck. I've got Trouble in Pairs just to make sure that I'm getting more of that sweet, sweet loyalty because Kaya really, really needs it to get off the ground running. I've got Faithbond Judge and Moonshaker Cavalry as really powerful game-winning cards. Remember, Kaya's third ability is going to reinforce all spirits you control, and both of Moonshaker Cavalry and Faithbond Judge are both spirits. Furthermore, the Faithbond Judge is going to have Defender for a while. It's going to be blocking things for me. It's going to be killing things my opponent controls. And the Moonshaker Cavalry is going to come in and reinforce all my creatures and give them massive power boosts. So if my opponent does wind up playing some kind of powerhouse and I exile it with my third ability and then get a whole bunch of spirit tokens, then the Moonshaker Cavalries are going to be coming in like a Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball and making the Faithbond Judges, the Cavalries, and the little spirit tokens into big Dwayne Johnsons instead of little Miley Cyruses. Assemble the Players is going to enable us to fetch one of our creatures and put it onto the battlefield every single turn, which means that we're either going to be fetching a Moonshaker Cavalry or a Faithbond Judge and putting it on the battlefield every turn. Since there's only 2 creatures in my deck, that means that 50% of the time I'm bringing a Moonshaker Cavalry down and it's going to wreck my opponent's day something fierce. The last parts of the deck are just removal and ways of getting loyalty. You could run Voidrend as it's white in the deck, But I kind of like having some cards, just a few, that aren't white, so I can charge up their mana above the cards that are white, and then have the matches next to the Mox Pearl give the full mana to the white cards, while I am still able to charge some of those other cards. So this is a player preference sort of thing. You might prefer to go Void Rend, and if you do, I totally get that. That's your preference. The other deck that I'm going to be showcasing in this video is not great. I wanted to showcase what this looks like if you run some very useful, like, non-mythic decks, right? But the thing that you're going to encounter, or you're going to see in the gameplay with this, is that even if everything goes perfectly, you just don't really have a great way to win. Like, Kaya doesn't give you that way to win. Yes, I'm going to have a lot of control. Yes, I'm going to be getting a lot of creatures. Yes, I'm going to be able to do cool stuff, but it's not any better than any other Planeswalker. That is to say, if you don't have the power cards, this Planeswalker is definitely not going to be for you. So let's go ahead, let's go into the gameplay and see how this Planeswalker looks in action. Puzzle Masters Ajani. Well, that'll be a fun one for this deck. Ajani just has a really large health pool, and then with those little kitties coming out constantly, gives us a few problems, especially with this walker. But maybe we'll be able to overcome that. We'll see. We'll do our darndest, right? We'll do our darndest. So here's where it's really nice to get an early Aurelia down, just because you get the extra removal, you get the extra card draw, you just get a lot out of it. Getting an Agonjo up there is also pretty useful. This Planeswalker really, really wants loyalty. And so, as it really, really wants loyalty, we want those cards that are going to convert gems. As if I'm converting gems, I'm hopefully getting more matches. And if I'm getting more matches, I'm getting more loyalty. So that's all good stuff. My opponent's almost definitely going to take that white match on top. My opponent is absolutely going to be outproducing me in terms of mana. It's just part of what it's going to be like going up against a Puzzle Masters Ajani. Assemble the Players is actually going to be the best thing for me to play here. And then, let's see, is this a prevent damage token? It's a lifelink token. We can let them have a lifelink token. Let's just see if we can't get any cascades going here. We absolutely can. That's fantastic. I get to get rid of my opponent's beater and just sort of keep on rolling here. So here's where you're getting to see some of the power of Aurelia and why I'm running it in this deck. It's nice to have that extra little component of control, especially when you're up against an opponent who's definitely going to have a better deck than you, right? Like with the way that I'm running this particular deck right now, I'm kind of boxed into a situation where my opponent is no matter what going to have a better deck than me almost. But all right, we're gonna throw away some cards from my hand. I'm actually gonna throw away the extra Aurelia here. And then here I'm actually going to use Kaya's first ability. Now, the first ability is going to be used to give me mana and to filter a little bit of what I've got coming. I've already gotten Assemble the Players into Kaya. I'm going to throw them both away. Assemble the Players is an 18 mana support, so that's going to be the highest mana card that's going to get exiled, so it's going to give me 9 mana. So we're going to take half of that. You'll see that I get 5 and 4 for 9. That's going to be 9 total mana. I'm going to have the Knight Errant of Eos go down as well. That one is going to give me some extra goodies. Ooh, there's no way of doing this without giving my opponent a good match. I really don't want to give them a white match. So as much as I am opposed to generally taking the red because it means nothing for me, whereas the green does, I'm going to do it so my opponent doesn't get a white match. So I'll play the Knight Errant of Eos, and then I'm going to go ahead and fetch another Knight Errant, and I'll fetch a Light Pause so that I've got one of those as well. So, all right, cool. Now here we're finally getting a little bit of conversion going. You'll see that the gameplay is a little bit on the slower side, and that's just part of playing Kaya without a super optimized deck, right? I feel like you can say, well, all right, any Planeswalker that's not running its completely optimized deck is going to be slow. And that's true. That's definitely true. But this is more that we don't really have a ton of bite here. And then, of course, Puzzle Masters Ajani winds up gaining a bunch of health. So while I've got a pretty commanding board position down right now, and ooh, that's a terrifying creature. I'm really glad that I'll be getting rid of that this turn. But as I was saying, even though I've got a very commanding board position down, I actually probably don't need that over there. And so you know what? I'm actually just going to use Kaya's first here, the plus ability, just because I want to whittle away some more of my opponent there. I can make a white into green, which would be really nice. So let's get another converter down. Let's get another converter down. My opponent getting double strike on the kitty doesn't matter, because that kitty's going to die here to the Aurelia burning it. And then we're going to draw a whole bunch of cards, and we're going to hit the opponent. And so here, you know, I'm hitting for 10 damage a turn, which is really not a lot. I feel like right now in the not mythic masterpiece range, there aren't a ton of cards in white and black that are super deadly. You've got like really good cards, right? So I've got Assemble the Players, I've got Teferi Hero of Dominaria, I've got a bunch of stuff like that. So I definitely feel like I have powerful cards, just not like in terms of damage power, right? I'm not wowing the board here. So let's see. Do we have any other cool matches? Not really. I'm going to definitely take the +1 here on the Kaya, just to keep giving it some more shields, and then take this here little chain match. So we're going to keep building up this particular match, even though I'm up against some pretty scary cards. I think is a pretty good representation of what happens when this deck is running optimally. And so I think this is actually a really good showcase of what to expect when if you pick up Kaya, and if you don't have a really big collection of cards. Like what's actually going to happen if you pick this up and try it. So we're going to kill the Healer of the Pride again, which is really important. We obviously need to get rid of that thing. It's got to go. And then I'm kind of debating just getting rid of the cards with my first again. Let's use the first again. Let's just keep using the first. Using that first is going to make it so that we can just keep getting some mana. We'll get some loyalty back as well, as you can see. And so it just gives us a lot of flexibility if we spam that ability. I'm going to go ahead and take the landfall, just get some extra goodies, and then the Healer of the Pride's just it's going to die, right? It's got no chance. There it goes. All right, we're going to hit the opponent for now 22 a turn. And so hopefully we'll be able to beat our opponent in like 4 turns, roughly 5 maybe, because Ajani gains life so much. We'll see. I'm gonna hope for 4. Ooh, there's a nasty critter. All right. Well, there's one that I can't actually kill with the damage right away. Can I? No, it's definitely gonna kill my opponent's creature because I've got 3 things attacking. So let's get rid of all of those, and then let's just let our creatures do their thing. Okay, well, we'll get another Teferi, and then I want to get as many creatures down as I can. So here, I'm actually going to even get rid of the Light Paws. Light Paws just isn't worth it for only 2. Here, I'll get rid of those 2. That Teferi is going to give me 9 more mana, and then I think I want to assemble the players first. I'm going to be getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff from my opponents anyways. So let's get rid of some of these get rid of some of these gems. That thing can gain lifelink. I don't care. We'll get another Knight Captain. I would like to take... Okay, I'll take 2 more Knight Errants. Unfortunately, it means that I'm going to be getting some more Light Paws, but that's okay. We're going to kill my opponent's creature, and we're going to just keep on trucking. We're up to 26 damage a turn, so... we're still looking at about 3 turns, right? We're still looking at about 3 turns to kill my opponent. And so you're going to see here, right? My opponent has some really strong cards. Healer of the Pride, Mox, the Galta and Maverin is what I think it's called. There's definitely some big beaters in my opponent's deck, and they're totally locked down. And I could use my 3rd, but there's really nothing to use the 3rd on. I could use my 2nd, but there's literally no point in ever using my 2nd. I can use my 1st, try and filter a little bit of what I'm drawing, which is what I'm doing. Get some more mana, get some more loyalty, all that kind of goodness. It's kind of just a free use ability for mana at this point. And that is really nice. I do really like that. We're going to go ahead, try and get some more creatures. Cool. We'll take 2 more Aurelias. And then here, I'm actually going to take this light pause so that my next free creature from my support is an Aurelia, just because that's going to hit a little bit harder. I'd like to end this Ajani next turn. So I suppose Ajani could play removal. I'm surprised that the Ajani hasn't played any removal for that matter. Are they going to take that black match to get the Mox? No, they're not. Ah, okay. There we go. See? There's the removal we're talking about. I should have said nothing. And then maybe there would have been no removal. But alas, I said something, and then there was removal. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, let's get rid of, these two. We'll gain some more mana. And then this just means that my opponent's going to survive for one more turn. I'm going to get rid of the other light pause. I don't need it. And then I guess I could ping you for 3 more with Kaya. Let's take this here landfall. Okay. We're getting another Aurelia down. We're getting another Aurelia down, and we're gonna be 2 health short of beating my opponent this turn. Alright. Well, we're getting there. We're getting so close, guys. So close. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh, you're locking down another thing. There we go. There's Void Rend. You got rid of Kaya. Well, it was too little too late, my friend. Had you done all that earlier, maybe, just maybe, you'd be in a better place. But alas, you are going to get killed by a light pause now. So congratulations. I don't need to do any of that stuff. I can just go ahead and take any match. I'll take this one. Sure. Kaboom. There we go. There is Kaya without great cards in a nutshell. It's a slog. It's a real slog. Alrighty, this deck is where the magic happens. This is the good stuff right here. So, not the best starting hand, but also not the worst. Having both the Teferi and Assemble the Players is going to be really, really nice. And then, actually, since I'm up against a Johnny, I'm just going to go ahead and start charging No Witnesses. This is going to seem like a weird match to be going for the green right there. Oh, of course, I give my opponent a 5 match. It might seem weird for me to have done that, but I want the free loyalty from No Witnesses here. And so I'm going to have that one go down first. And then from here on out, my goal is to just give my opponent as few 5 swaps as possible. So here we're just going to go ahead, get a free 10 loyalty right out the gate, which is going to get me to my first ability, which means that I can now use that to give myself some mana, which I definitely want, because I've got Teferi, I've got Trouble in Pairs. All right, let's see what we're going to throw away here. We've got, I've actually already got a Trouble in Pairs, so let's throw that one away. I'll gain the 9 mana, and then I know that I've got a Golden Wish coming up as well, so that'll be pretty big for me. In terms of matches, I think black is going to be the way to go here. The green is kind of tempting just to see if I can get a Cascade, and I like trying to get Cascades going. You know what? Let's do it. Let's try and get the Cascade. No Cascade for me. Risked it for the biscuit, got no biscuit. That happens sometimes. That's okay. I can't put poison counters on you. Tragic. Truly tragic. I'm devastated. All right. What have we got here? A red match? Yeah, really not a lot. I'll take the red match and hope that we get a black. Nope, still no black match for me. We'll get rid of my opponent's support. My opponent's support will come right back. No big deal. All right. We've got Assemble the Players, slowly but surely making its way over. There we go. Sarah's Sanctum is going to start giving us some conversion. That conversion is going to come in very handy. And then I'll go ahead and take the black match over there. Let's see. Okay, my opponent's got a white match. I've got a 5 match depending on what the Sanctum converts. That would be nice. No, Sanctum says no. No match for me. Nah, that's fine. Do I want the No Witnesses? Why not? No, and no. We're going to use Teferi. We're just going to keep pumping up. I don't need this extra judge. Kind of feels weird throwing away a judge sometimes, actually, but that's okay. I'm going to take the white match just because that's clearly the best option for my opponent. And I know that my opponent's building up a little bit of an army here with those kitties, but I'm really not too worried about that. Those kitties are tiny, and then I'm going to be gaining life soon enough. So I've got a cavalry coming down this turn. Cool, we take those. We love the cavalry. And then I've got a Golden Wish charging up. Do I have any really good matches on the board? No, I don't. All right. Let's use our first. We get another Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. That's fine. Definitely limits what I'll be getting as the game progresses. My opponent's got that hideaway thing. Cool. This is good. This is good. I like this. This means that my opponent's getting more goodies on the battlefield. I want them to get big. They're not going to get big. That thing's not going to kill them. Phooey. I wanted them to get all the big stuff on the board so that I could have a really big boom moment with a third ability. Especially as I'm going to be getting my third ability here because I cast a Golden Wish. But it looks like that's not going to happen. I will have Teferi, Hero of Dominaria all charged up, but that's about it. Come on, play something massive for me. You're going to make it so that my knight cannot attack. That's honestly fine. Let's get rid of my opponent's battlefield here. Let's start with that. Oh yeah, get me the big creatures. Come on. Give me all of them. Make them huge. There we go. Thank you very much. Oh, the cavalry. You're one turn too late, buddy. Or too early, I should say. Because we're going to get rid of all my opponent's stuff. We're going to get the spirits down. And now here, the sad thing is that we have to now watch this animation. Because it's going to take forever. This would be nice. While we're on the thought of Kaya. If we could get like some kind of sped up animation, that would be lovely. I would really like that. Let's see. In terms of what we've got going here, I'll take the Golden Wish. Yeah, I'll take the Golden Wish. What? Can we get something for free too? Ooh, yes. Yes, we want that. Okay. Let's bring that up just to make sure that it stays safe. This Golden Wish, I'm guessing, is going to get me another Mox. So even though I've destroyed one of the Moxes, that's fine. There's a Teferi, there's another Mox. Yep. We got another Mox. And now the next cavalry that I get down wins the game. And my opponent's dead. So, whoop-de-doo. There it is. There it is. Big spirits. Okay. Okay. We're going to get rid of this thing so we can get some more reinforcements and even bigger spirits. Because that's clearly necessary. And then, can I make a Mox? Oh, I can make a Mox match. Why, thank you. Let's take this one. That should give my cavalry full mana. And then, there we go. Make them big. Make them big. Give us the goodies. There we go. Yeah, my opponent's very dead. Okay. So, yeah. We can ramp up pretty big. This is a really, really fun deck to play. Ooh, Trouble in Pairs, Sarah's Sanctum, and a Moonshaker Cavalry out the rip. We like that. Let's take the Sanctum first. I want some gem conversion, as that's going to get me potential mana and loyalty. And I very much need both of those things for this Planeswalker. And then, you know what? Let's have the Cavalry start to get mana instead of that thing. And then, as for which match I'm going to take here, I do really want that black match. Actually, I really do. Because that black could get me black into white. Whereas the white will just get me a white match. And my opponent will take either of them. So let's risk it. No, still no biscuits for me. Today has not been a good biscuit day for me. All of my biscuits have been dry. Another Moonshaker Cavalry. Okay, well, on the plus side, we're getting another enchantment down. So that's going to cause me to convert more gems to white. We'll see that we've got that lock icon on the opponent so that they can't gain extra swaps. And then I think I'm just going to take loyalty into white because the extra loyalty is a good thing. We want the loyalty. And my opponent's not yet playing big stuff. I really want them to play big stuff, and I really want them to use their abilities. My opponent is deciding that they don't want to, but I want them to. I'll take a free Trouble in Pairs here. Yeah, let's take a free Trouble in Pairs. Let's do it. Just take the free mana. Cool. I wanted the Trouble in Pairs so that it would preserve my stuff a bit better. Oh, there we go. There's the big stuff. I should be scared, but if I can get something to give me loyalty, like if my opponent uses a loyalty ability, I'll be in good shape. The problem is that my opponent is not using loyalty abilities, which is a problem. What does this do? Okay, maybe they will. Maybe they will. And if they do, we can activate our third ability, and then, ooh, that'll be really nice. We'll make some big old spirits. So, do we have Sarah's Sanctum down still? We do. You know what? I'm just going to risk this for the biscuit. There we go. All right. Now I just need to make a white swap, and I'll get a bunch of loyalty. My opponent, though, is still being a jerk, and they are not activating loyalty abilities. Well, fine. We'll do it the hard way then. This way. Yeah, all your stuff be gone. And I get spirit tokens. All the spirit tokens. And then I'm going to make the spirit tokens even stronger. Curse you for not using loyalty abilities. Silly Planeswalker. How dare you. Alright. Well, now I need to gain some life, because I let that get way out of hand when I really didn't need to, but I wanted to. So we're going to take this. That's going to give me double free mana. We'll get the Sanctum. We'll get the Cavalry down. Cavalry is going to go ahead and boost everything I have. And then I'm just gaining tons of loyalty here. Oh yeah, Tainted Adversary. Give me more spirits. Give me the goodies. Come on. Show them to Papa. Yep, Bring them all on. Give me a big old stack of these things. There we go. That's not as big of a stack as I was asking for. Yeah, I'm still going to get whapped like a wet noodle there, but that's fine. All right, come on. Let's get 38 more spirit tokens. Let's do it. Ooh, yeah. Goodbye. Shoot. Okay. 38 more spirits. Here we go. I know. Super slow animations. You got to find some way of entertaining yourself. Mine is to sing myself songs, because this animation takes forever. Not only do you have to wait for all your opponent's Tainted Adversaries to come down, but then you got to wait for all your spirit tokens to come down. So, yeah. What I'm really hoping is that I will get my judge down first, so that I can just soup them all up together. Let's do that. Pop, pop, pop. There goes the judge. Now we play the cavalry. And yeah, that was a game where I won the game because of my third ability. In some fairness, it was also because I got a Faith Bond Judge in the graveyard from the whole Surveil thing. Maybe something, whatever. But there was one in the graveyard, and now we get huge. Yeah, okay. We win because of Kaya there. Absolutely. Okay. Very good match. I think that's a good enough showcase of her abilities, right? Use the first, get mana. Use the third, kill big things. Big things turn into big things for you. Find a way to get loyalty. Make third happen every turn. Opponent keeps playing big things. Game gets more fun for you. Very, very simple Thokta explanation from Troll. Okay, let's conclude this. In conclusion, Kaya Spirit's Justice is worth getting if you can make this deck. If you can make this deck, it's worth hours of fun. I played this deck for a few hours yesterday. I played it for a few hours today. I'll be playing it some more in the coming days. It's a lot of fun. Like, a lot of fun. However, if you can't make this deck, the Planeswalker winds up being kind of funky and or frustrating. If you don't have a big collection, definitely skip this Planeswalker. I'll put it sort of generously in the B tier. The third ability really does have a lot of power to it, and the first ability can ramp itself up. It's just that the Planeswalker gets sort of better because of cards, but the kit itself doesn't work on its own. It needs cards to make the kit work. And I feel like a Planeswalker should be able to work on its own and be enhanced by cards, which is, in a way, what happens here with this deck, but I feel like it shouldn't be something where you need mythics and masterpieces galore in order to make the kit actually function in a serviceable manner. Beyond that, you're going to get sort of stuck and slog in matches. So, did I enjoy Kaya Spirit's Justice? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy it because I have these cards? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy the common, uncommon, and rare gameplay? No, that was awful. I wound up scratching 2 other recording sessions because my matches were a half hour plus in length, just because she couldn't kill anything, and my opponent wasn't playing anything particularly high powered for me to exile with my 3rd ability. So, yeah. Roughly B tier. Worth getting if you have the cards, not worth it if you don't. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.